Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing today, Facebook world? I have Josh and Rebecca Soto with the Soto Legacy Group out of Orlando, Florida. Former independent broker owners, married for 20 years as of this year. And now they're releasing a book called Married in Real Estate, which goes into the two sides of what people see. A lot of us, I've never been or had a wife in real estate, so I've always seen it from my angle, but I can only imagine I had two parents in real estate that there's some definitely big differences, even if it's the same exact experience. So with that said, guys, welcome to the show. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to jump on and chat with us.
Hi, Terry. Thank you so much for having us on. It's an honor to be able to share with you today.
Yes, thank you for the invite, Terry.
Very good, guys. So many questions, which I'm sure anyone watching this is going to have so many questions. We'll try and hit on some of them. So take us back. What were you doing something before real estate? How you got into real estate? You take us through that.
Okay, you want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, back before real estate, I met Josh when I was working at a dental office. He was a patient that came in one day, and the manager says, "Rebecca, this next patient just came in, and I want you to take care of him." And it caught me so off guard because I was new on the job, and I knew that was not professional, and I was so against it. I hadn't even seen him at this point because we're back behind the wall. And but you know what? She was so insistent on it, and I said, you know what? She's being so persistent that I'm just gonna have to take her up on it. And all I did was bring him in, and I said, "We'll let whatever happen after that." Wow. And so that's kind of where we met to start with, and we ended up exchanging numbers, and we tell that whole story in our book. But that's where it all began. I was in dentistry, and he was a truck driver. So we both did that. I mean, he did that for 20 years, and I was in dentistry for almost 10 years. And before that, before we ended those careers, we got married, had a baby, and then later we were wanting to change careers, right? We needed something more. And we were, thinking about what we could do and what we could possibly do together. Right. And real estate seemed like something we really wanted to kind of embark on together as a new career. Okay. So that really excited us, the opportunity to do that. I had a friend that was already in the industry that said, "Come on, Rebecca, you can do this. You and your husband would be phenomenal together." And so we took that leap of faith and embarked on that career together.
Wow. So when was that?
That was in 2005.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it was probably great then at the first couple of years, but things changed a little bit a few years after that, right?
Now let me tell that part.
We actually, like Rebecca mentioned, in 2005, we actually got licensed in 2005 and actually became full-time agents in January of 2006. So maybe you already know what happened during those times. That was right in the middle of the beginning of the market crash. So when we actually started our careers, and honestly, Terry, in the beginning, it was all great because we were able to actually learn a lot of what real estate really stands for. There's so many different opportunities within real estate. Everyone thinks it's only really selling and buying, but, there are opportunities, to do BPOs, broker price opinions, and REO agents, short sales. So at that time, that was the big norm at that time of real estate. So we were able to basically experience and become experts in all those different scenarios in real estate. So we actually had 2 or 3 great years, man. Great years.
Before the crash.
Before the crash. Before we survived the crash, we're probably the majority. Not many realtors around that time survived, and we happened to be one of them. One of the ones that did survive and continue growing our business. And around 2011, 2012, that's when the market started shifting a little bit. Things got a little tighter, and things, we had to make what we call adjustments to our changes to our real estate. We had to make the shift, So we actually did that. We had some little hard times there, but we were able to overcome them and survive. but through that process, we struggled. There were a lot of hard times financially, that we had to overcome. And unfortunately, around 2012, we had to make the decision to file bankruptcy. Those in 2012 for 3 years. We were under Chapter 13 regulations, and I'm being very transparent. I want to.
I hear it. I'm part of that group. I mean, I'm not gonna hide it.
So
it happens.
And but we were able to overcome that, and I'll be honest with you, it was a learning experience. And right now, we're actually trainers. Our certified trainers, man, and we teach and educate people in wealth building and being able to how to learn how to control their finances and everything. So that's a huge opportunity. We took a negative and turned it into a positive.
Yeah, and I mean that's what separates the people that are successful or winners, whatever you want to call them. I mean they take something they can get in. It's fun doing it when the times are going great, which you guys got to get in. It's like, oh my God, like I love this. And then the market decided, well, the market has other plans for all of us, and it hits us. So we got to decide what we're going to do. And you guys got knocked down. I got knocked down. I think 99.9% of anyone in real estate got knocked down and on their butt for a while. And the fact that you guys took that, turned it around, and it's not easy. I mean, so hats off to you, especially both of you being in real estate. Like I was one person of the house in real estate, not both. So you had double the dose.
They were really tough times. Yeah, some tough years. Yep.
I can only imagine, but that's awesome. You worked your way through it, and then at what point did you got back in? Things started picking up, and then you went out. I saw you had an independent brokerage, right? Then you go out and do that.
Through it all, even though the market had crashed, because you're still working out there, and the harder part is. You have your clients, people still want to buy homes and they need a place to live. And so we did have work. Oftentimes clients would come back and say, I just got laid off of work. And another one would say the same. And it got really hard. And so, but through it all, we opened up our brokerage in 2010. So,
okay. Wow.
And, we kept our expenses low. So I think that's probably one of the things that helped save us is that everything that we did, we were cautious to not overspend or to bite off more than we can chew.
Right.
We're able to kind of coast through those years.
Well,
that's awesome. I mean, so you guys did that, and then a few years goes by, you're starting to roll and, starting to get some wheels turning, it sounds like. And then what happened?
After we kind of, because bankruptcy for us was like a three-year term there.
Yes.
So, 2013, we're coming out of that. And, it was 15. 2015, we're coming out of that. And not, when you think of it like that, that wasn't that long ago.
Right. No, not at all.
Not that long ago. But we then started, of course, looking to see where we needed to make a shift again. There was a lot of shifts from the moment we came in, right? So we come in and we are embarking on a new career. And just as the wheels are turning 2 years in, market crashes, you have to shift again and see how you're going to keep surviving. As the market starts to bounce back, you got to look again to see, you're always looking to see where you're going to plug yourself and where you're going to be at best service for your clients. And so we were constantly shifting. And I think that really is what saved us, because if you don't change how you're doing business, you're going to get outdated. Absolutely. You're going to become a dinosaur. You're not going to be able to change with the time. So you always have to be looking out there and willing to change, right? But we had to make that change again as we're coming out of bankruptcy and saying, how can we continue growing? Because we realized that what we were doing was we're working really hard, working, but then the stops coming. So how do you get that money working for you? And so as we were kind of taking a step back and do we grow the brokerage, we're seeing a lot of the heartaches from other brokers who have already been there. And so we're just kind of taking a look at our options. What are our options? And at that time, we made that decision. And now we're 9 years into having our brokerage, and we made that decision to jump over to EXP.
Wow,
so
that's
that was for us
awesome.
the best decision that we could make.
Yeah, I agree. With Rebecca, everything that she said. One of the things that we were very blessed about, Terry, was the fact that we were able to make those adjustments during those periods, the market shifts, and we were always honestly we were always top producers. We always did that. We're very blessed. We produced. We never stopped doing that. But it was a time in our career that we had to take a step back, like Rebecca said, and analyze the whole thing, the whole picture, and see where we're going to take this to the next level and how we're going to be able to do it. And we were able to sit back and analyze what was the best scenario for us. It took us a couple of years, but we know we made the right decision.
Right. I'm sure. I mean, your story's a lot like mine. I just didn't have the other half. So, but no, that's exciting stuff, guys. And so, I mean, really, that kind of leads in. I mean, with all that, you probably are the perfect couple to throw out and put a book out. I mean, why not? Well, I mean, not perfect, but I mean, it's. You gotta share the good and the bad and everything in between, and that's the way any of us learn from the other side, or anybody else that's gonna watch this. So,
I think,
but the fact that you have downs.
One of the things that I think through all of this is we learn to work well with each other. We work seamlessly together, and so that made us a strong team as a couple. And of course, we want to expand on that. And so, with a lot of lessons that we've learned throughout life and this career, I think they say winners never quit, right? So if you want to win, you got to keep going. So you might lose some of the small battles in between. But doesn't mean that we just throw your arms up and walk away. You got to keep at it every day, right? So it's you can have great days, you can have some really bad days, and trust me, 20 years of marriage, and we've been through enough, So Josh and I have always been a couple that we definitely communicate very well, and we have our disagreements, huge disagreements. But I think that one of the most important things in our relationship has been that we always find that middle ground, that compromise. So he'll tell me what he wants, and I'll tell him what I want, and we'll probably go back and forth a little bit on that, and then take a break, think about it, and then one of us will come around and say, okay, well, I think we can, and we just kind of find that middle ground together. And it's really, I think, what's been the best part of working together, and what's kind of helped us, in our family and in our business.
Right. I mean, if you guys can figure out how to work together this well, then family life should be, easy. Real estate's no joke. I mean, real estate's no joke. So that's awesome. But
it's really getting to know one another and understanding what's the need for each one. What's the purpose of the conversation? Where is it going to go? So I think that it all comes down to really understanding and respecting one another. And what I mean by respect is listening, hearing each other out. Because I think that sometimes that blockage really holds everything up. When you guys cannot come to an agreement, Terry. It has to. Disagreements are always going to happen. It's how you're able to bounce back from that and understand where we're going to go from here. Let's talk about this. How can we resolve this? So it's been cool. I can't complain. It's been awesome.
No, that is. It sounds like trust me, I want to watch this video afterwards. I'm going to show my wife too, because she's not in real estate sales, but she's a salesperson nonetheless, and we kind of sometimes butt heads a little bit.
It's always going to happen. But I think what's more important here is we've figured out what he's strong at, what I'm strong at, and we fit together. So I think if you can find those things that help you be a great team together, right? Because we can't be good at all of it. We always have to find somebody that's going to complement those little weaknesses that we have, or maybe just, it may not even be a weakness, but that somebody else can kind of complement it and do it better. And sharing the responsibility helps you to just be better together. So I think, what they say, if you want to run fast, you go alone. And if you want to go far, you do it together.
Right, I like it. That's awesome, guys. I love it. All right, so I got a few questions if you got a minute. Let's see here. So the book, Married in Real Estate, you guys have been how long have you been working on that?
So we started right before the pandemic. And
Oh,
yeah, I think back in January we were having conversations and we were talking about writing the book. And soon after we got started, we were shut down for the pandemic, and we just really doubled in on that and started just every day dedicated to writing, just sharing our stories and life lessons that you'll see throughout the book that'll help you kind of think back and reflect on and think about ways to either overcome challenges that you have in your own life and things like that. So it has certainly been something that we've worked on for several months during this season here. And we're so glad that it's finally over and that we could share it with everybody. They want us to register for a free copy of the book.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we'll definitely get that out there. Make sure everybody knows about it here right before, before we wrap things up or whatever. But
absolutely, Terry. It was one of the things that, to be honest with you, it was in January when we spoke about it, it was kind of like nerve-wracking because we don't really share our personal life together, to everyone, and to be able to sit down and say, you know what, let's just do it, because you have to think not only within yourself, you have to think about who else made you able to reach and help them through any circumstances when it comes to this. So, we prayed on it and it worked out, man. I'm super excited, man.
No, that's awesome. So here you go. What about so when it comes to writing a book like that, was it tough to stay independent, like not kind of say, well, what are you writing about, or what's your opinion before it actually gets written?
Yes.
How did that work?
I love your question because yes, it was a little hard because you're wondering, I wonder what she's writing. I wonder what he's writing.
It's only because he waited for me to write first.
Yes. Like, wait a minute. Let me see what she says. No, but we really, there were times that there was no communication. I'll be honest with you. We were just writing and we just went on and wrote, We wrote separately, to be honest with you.
We started the outline.
Yeah, we started the outline.
From the outline, each one of us had to then fill in what we had to say about those topics.
So it was very, to me, I'm excited about it just to see how this all came together. And it was something that, man, it was awesome, man. I'm excited for anyone to really go and take a look at this book, because it was a little hard. I'll be honest with you. It was a little tough. Because you're wondering in your mind, wow, I wonder what she's saying. And I can tell you could ask her the same question. She's probably thinking the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just crazy. I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's gonna be exciting. So were there any surprises that came out of writing this book that you guys didn't expect? Whether that was how you felt or anything.
Well, I don't think any surprises between the two of us. We're really just sharing our journey. And we're there's no secrets. That were revealed anyway. So there's nothing like that. I think it's just us being vulnerable, sharing, some really tough times and things that we've had to overcome through the years. One of them for me is that I was a very painfully shy person. And among friends, you're not shy among friends, but getting out to meet new people, networking, it literally would bring me to sweat. I mean, like I didn't know how to handle myself, and it was a painful experience. And but then I realized, as I'm in real estate already, and I'm at a networking event, and someone approaches me, and I'm standing in a corner off, kind of by myself, and one other person had kind of wandered off into the corner with me, and we're just talking between the two of us. This other person approaches me and starts to tell me, so are you two? And I don't even let him finish because I hear where it's going. I extend my arm. Hi, my name's Rebecca. How are you? And I just kind of disrupt that behavior because I knew what he was going to say to me next. And the truth is, it was so far from the truth, but at the same time, it was a lesson for me because he was thinking that I'm stuck on him. And the whole time I was uncomfortable. I felt like everyone else knew each other. I felt like I didn't fit or I didn't belong. All these insecure feelings that you feel. And I realized that the perception was more like I was unapproachable, that I was being stuck up. And I thought, I can't let people think that of me. That's not true. And I have to change that. So it's not his fault, it's mine.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I was able to disrupt that behavior for that person, but it also changed me moving forward and helped me to just kind of be a little bit more outgoing, a little bit more forward with people, and not, I still feel it. I sometimes, because it gets to you, it works with your brain, but you know what? Every day I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated. So I'm going to be the first one to put my hand out. I'm going to go and be the first one to go in for the hug. And of course, now with COVID, we're not hugging as much, so we're going for the elbow, whatever that is. But yeah, I'm a different person today, and I'm so grateful. And I share that in the book as well. And Josh shares some of his experiences as well, some of our personal growth along the way. And then we hope that sharing these stories helps others to be inspired, helps others to probably overcome maybe some self-doubt that they might be going through, or just little challenges that you know, oftentimes you feel like you're alone in what you're going through, and you don't realize a lot of people go through the same thing.
Yeah, and I love that you just said that, because that's where I was going. And I think a lot of the surprises was, first of all, time flies. When you start writing all these memories down, you start thinking like, wow, I remember that hard time, and I remember what happened here. But most importantly, I think I love what Rebecca just said, that, you know, we wrote this book more in the sense that we wanted to really help anyone that might be going through anything that we've gone through. The smallest little thing, it don't have to be exactly the same, but we felt like if we can help that one person that may be feeling self-doubt, like, or shy, or just feeling like they need help with something, they're afraid to reach out to someone, that they'll be able to pick up this book and understand that, you know what, you're not alone. We've all gone through this together. So. Right.
No, I mean, that's huge, because, you know, you shared, you just in these few minutes, you've shared so many different things, you know, bankruptcy and, you know, just chaos that happens in real estate. And then, you know, and it's so many people go through it, and we already touched on it several times. It knocks them down, and they stay down. They could stay down for 10 years or a lifetime. And there's always ways to connect and get better if you just start opening up. And the fact that you guys are sharing openly for everyone, you know, people do pick up from that, and it does help them. You know, I can tell you right now, there's several agents that are going through tough times. Several of them are like, well, should we both get into real estate together? I don't know. You know,
that's a tough decision that you'll have to make for your family. And I think it's a very rewarding career. And I think it's a good choice only if you know that you're going to go all in.
Right.
Yeah. All in.
Absolutely.
And Josh and I, we went all in. So we knew that we did not, you go all in when you know that there's no turning back, right?
Exactly.
And we didn't want to go back to those careers. So I know a lot of people who come in and they don't even want to leave their career. And so they're kind of doing it part-time, and they're like, I don't know if this will ever take off. Well, if you don't go all in, it's not happening, you know? And we also talk about when we first got into, when we first started in real estate, we did have, because we have a household, so we couldn't just quit the jobs, right? But the intention was, we're going to work really hard so that we can let those jobs go. So what does that mean? That means that we're working extra hours. Josh, as a truck driver, was working 16 hours a day, and then he'd come home, take a shower, and he'd go show properties. Now that's tough. And some people say, but he didn't spend time with the family, or he didn't get to this. But you know what? It's a short-term, goal for a long-time gain.
Yeah.
We knew it wasn't forever, but we were willing to a short-term sacrifice. Short-term sacrifice for a long-term goal. We knew that wouldn't last forever, but we were going to sacrifice some time so that we could be able to do that. And I did the same thing. So it looked a little different for me because I have 3 kids. We have 3 kids. And so I was home a lot more with the kids. But how did that look for me? I did work, and I'd come home and I would cook. I would get his showing set up for him so that when he came home, he could shower, eat, and run out the door, you know? So we worked together as a team. And of course, that dynamic has changed. The roles have changed, but that's how we did it getting started, you know, so that we could launch those careers.
I agree, man. Consistency brings results. That's the way I can't be any more clear than that, you know? Even through those hard times, you got to stay consistent. You got to keep moving forward, you know? You mentioned something earlier, Terry, like, it's hard when people fall. Not many of them can bounce back. It's all about how quick can you bounce. You can get up on your feet and keep moving forward. Because we all get knocked down. Let's be honest with you. We all get knocked down in one way or another. It's how quick you can get up and keep moving forward what matters. So that's why this is very important for every couple to be united. You understand what I meant? Together and understanding that, you know what? If we're doing this, we're going to do this all in. And one thing that Rebecca and I did was, like she said, was I was never going back. I tell everyone, this is career, this is what I love, and this is where I'm gonna keep moving forward on.
Yep, that's why you just gotta make up your mind and just keep on keeping on. So that's what I like to say. So with this book, it's married in real estate. So is it meant just for married couples, or maybe a husband or a wife that has a husband or wife that's not in real estate? Could that open some of their eyes and thoughts on things?
This is a perfect book for anyone who's looking to get into real estate, that wants to work together. It is good for couples that are already in real estate who want to learn from each other, because we have found couples who work together want to see how other couples are doing it, because everyone is going through some kind of struggle, and hey, how are you doing this, right? So it's good for them, but it is good for people who also aren't necessarily working in real estate either together. So I think there's a lot to learn, and I think one of the things we talk about too is kind of vision planning and business planning together. So oftentimes in real estate we do our vision boards, and that's not just real estate, that's just about anyone could do a vision board. What is your vision for your life, right? And actually, we were talking about this with the psychologist that helped write the foreword for our book. But I said, oftentimes people get married and they don't even know what their goals are in life, right? So we know we want to get married, sure, but what else is going to come after that? So I think, honestly, that even just people that are thinking of getting together to get married, or just want to live together, whatever it is, they should do vision planning, right? You should talk about what is it that I expect out of my life. You should talk about what it is you expect and how we're going to bring that together and how we're going to work towards that together. So we did talk about that as well. So I think anyone who's not in the industry is still going to get something out of this book.
Absolutely. She touched it right on where it has to be heard. Honestly, I think this book is going to be for everyone. I mean, even if you're thinking about, like Rebecca said, if you're even even in a relationship, think about it. If you've been with someone 3 or 4 years and you guys plan to get engaged or get married, it's good to start off with the basics, and that's knowing each other. What are you looking for in your future? Or what if we move forward? What's next for us? And we've sat down with some couples that have been engaged, and these questions have came up, and we're like, oh, you know what? I think you guys should sit down and talk about this, because and we're telling them because we understand what we went through, and now that we have a lot more clear picture on what it takes to really.
Well, I think you work happier together.
We're happier together, exactly.
When the vision and the goals align, and we're both working for that same goal. Because if he has a different goal from what I have, and we're all kind of doing different things, that's hard to manage, or hard to kind of like, how do you keep that up for the long term, And that might be probably why a lot of marriages end.
And even in coaching.
Could you? Yeah. No, it just. Oh, go ahead. But no,
people feel like they grew apart and they're not working towards the same thing. They're not looking toward the same goals. They feel disconnected.
Oh yeah, no. You've seen it all the time, and I've seen it. Like perfect example. My mom and dad grew apart. They needed somebody to interject into that. But it's a tough business. But it's like you said, everything you're saying makes so much sense. As far as everything from just simple listening to acknowledging to working together, respecting. All that stuff. And sure, there's disagreements along the way, but the fact that you guys now took the time and all those years to put together a book that kind of says, here's our story, that's awesome. I've never seen anything like it. So I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to reading it myself, actually. So, when can someone get a book? How can someone get a book? And then there's something where they could win a book, right? Or something along those lines. So tell us about that.
So right now, anyone can go to marriedinrealestate.com and they can register to win a free book. Right now, the book is about to launch on Amazon. So as soon as it is, everyone who's registered in there will get that notification and let them know when it's ready.
Outstanding. That's exciting. And then somebody will win. So even better. Well, guys, it came up to 30 minutes. I don't want to take too much more of your time. If you have anything you want to put out there or share, feel free. If there's something you want to say before we wrap it up.
Closing words, honey?
No, man. My closing words is, first of all, thank you, Terry, for allowing us to come on your show. We're excited, and I'm correct. It's been great. It's a great conversation. Thank you. And as far as that, go pick up the book, Married in Real Estate. It's going to be awesome, man. It's a great book, and I'm sure someone enjoy it.
We're happy to connect with everyone, and if they register, that'll help us to keep connected. And so we look forward to that. We hope that they do go to that website and get registered, and we look forward to connecting. And
look us up on social medias. We're all over social media. Josue Soto, Rebecca Soto, Instagram, LinkedIn. So we're all there. We're there.
That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. And they are in Orlando, Florida, guys. So if anybody knows anybody needs some help down in Orlando, hit the two of them up. Josh and Rebecca can help you out. But thanks again. Loved hearing your story. Look forward to the book. And we will talk again soon. All right? All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. And I was trying here. Wait a second, please. And just like that, the internet's giving me issues and my computer is too. So we're going to lock it down.